And I'm just going to say welcome to One Heart, One Mind Center for Spiritual Living and our online Sunday service. And Jesse, you want to kick us off?
Sure.
All right, we're ready.
All right, we're going to jump into some Eddie Watkins Jr. this morning. So if you know the words,
We
please
have that
sing
buzzing
them.
back. Oops, stopped.
The buzzing is back.
Well, it stopped. We're good.
That is so weird. What is it?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll let you know if we hear it again, but right now it's good.
Okay. All right, we're going to jump into some Eddie Watkins Jr. then. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary, aka the Zoom room. Raise your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Raise your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, in every walk of life, every creed and color, can we reunite in honor of the God in each other? Take a look at the person next to you. Say, namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Raise your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love. Thank you.
Woo! Way to kick it off. Yes, we come together. Love that. Woo! It's always good to have you with us, Jesse. I love listen to your voice. And your voice seems to be getting better and better.
Thank you. That is so kind. I appreciate that. I have actually consciously been working on it, so thank you. It's nice to get that
Yeah, you
feedback.
hit those high notes with ease, and they were perfect.
Thank you.
And now I want to invite Rob to pray us in, and I'm sure he has a few words as well. Good morning, Rob.
Good morning. Rob might surprise you. I just want to take this opportunity to invite you to close your eyes if you feel like it. Close your eyes, go within, and feel. Feel the goodness of God. Feel the goodness all around us. Feel the undeniable warmth that radiates throughout the universe, that lets us know that God is on the job all the time. God is there with us, behind us, in front of us, supporting us all the time. And I am so grateful for the way this universe works. And I know that even if my body is experiencing pain of any kind, I can declare that my body is whole, complete, and perfect. And I know that the thing about pain is I must be patient. I must be patient, but I always declare the wholeness of my body, the perfection of my experience of my body, because I know that that is the God nature of my body. But the support of God is always there, and I declare it and I summon it, and I am existing within it such that my experience is improving and improving and improving. And the nature of my word is that it has the effect of becoming my experience, because all prayer, all thoughts are prayers, and all prayers have an effect on my experience. Thank you, God, for the goodness of this. And I know that even if I have emotional pain within myself, I know that even if I have concerns, even if I have fears, that simply declaring that they are, that whatever it is that I might be concerned about is fading. I know that solutions are on the rise. I know that a resolution to my concerns is gelling right here, right now, because I say it, because the power of my word is my gift from that which is God, that which is infinite, such that it always has an effect and it solves the problem. There is always a solution to every problem. And so I summon that solution to my problem right here, right now. And I am so grateful that even as I turn my attention to the outer world, and I take in the good, the that which has been declared by the news media and by all the sources that give us facts. And even though sometimes things look dire and things look bleak, I know the truth of God is always present, because the entire universe is made out of God and it cannot be anything other than whole, complete, and perfect. And I know that the power of my word always works. And so I use that power. I declare the truth. I declare the wholeness. I declare the perfection of everyone's experience in the world, that all suffering is handled, because we know the ultimate goal of life to be complete emancipation from all discord of every nature. That is simply true. And so it has to be true that as I speak my word for that which is the world we live in, that it is the resolution of all problems is coming to pass. And I know that as I travel through the world, I travel through my experience, and I run into people I know and people I don't, who are having issues, having problems, having apparent lives that are not working as well as we would like. I know that I can use my word, because it is always true that the ultimate goal of life is complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. I know this is true. It is self-evident that this is true. I am so grateful that my word works in all of these cases, that my word makes everything better every single time I use it. The effect may not be immediate, but it is always in the works. It is always coming to me. It is always about to be revealed. So I say thank you for all this, and I return my attention to God. I return my attention to the warmth that's always flowing, to the love that is always perceptible to me right now, just returning my attention to the certainty of the existence of the good, the eternal good that is always there. And so, because of this, I know that our service here today is blessed. I know that good is coming. I know that we have come together to experience a better life, a more fulfilling life, and that this expectation will not be denied. It will be a certainty. It is about to happen. And because I say it is true, because I know that everyone within this group who love each other and wish this for each other and wish this for themselves is enough to guarantee that this is about to happen. Thank you, God, for all the goodness we are experiencing here in our One Heart, One Mind Zoom space. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, for all this goodness that just keeps right on coming and keeps coming and keeps going. We are blessed. Thank you, God. I release my word. And if anybody is in the mood, we say, and so it
And
is.
so it is. Yay.
Ah, thank you, Gisela. And now
Woo.
we're gonna do I think we're gonna do an affirmation for the month. Yes,
Oh,
Michelle?
yes. I just got to say, you are just on fire with
Yeah.
the energy of God. Ooh, that was fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you. And if anybody would like to join me in speaking the words for April's affirmation are: stand forth and speak, Spirit within
Spirit
me.
within me,
Proclaim thy
proclaim thy
presence and
presence
announce
and
thy
announce thy
force.
force.
Declare
Declare
through
through
me
me
your
your
wondrous
wondrous.
works. The Spirit within speaks words of truth and life to all. The Spirit within me is, as always, God. And those words are from Ernest Holmes, or at least most of them. And now, Jesse, I see you there in your lime green, and I'll bet you got something else for us.
Woo!
I do. Here we go. Thank you for that powerful prayer. This is a little affirmation, bit of a chant. So I just invite you to close your eyes and drop in. I know, there's no need to worry. I know, there's no need to doubt. I know, there's nothing to figure out. I know, there's no need to worry. I know, there's no need to doubt. I know, there's nothing to figure out. Open the door, open the door, open the door to my heart. Open the door, open the door, open the door to my heart. I know, there's no need to worry. I know, there's no need to doubt. I know, there's nothing to figure out. Open the door, open the door, open the door to my heart. Open the door, open the door, open the door to my heart. I know, there's no need to worry. I know, there's no need to doubt. I know, there's nothing to figure out.
Wow. That was absolutely beautiful. I'm sitting here with my sliding glass door open, and my citrus grove is in bloom. And the breeze is coming in, and I'm listening to Jesse's heartfelt, wonderful words and the vibration of them, and smelling the fragrance of the citrus. So heaven here, heaven here. And Rob, that prayer, oh my gosh. Powerful, powerful you are, my friend. Oh, so once again, good morning and welcome to One Heart, One Mind Center for Spiritual Living Sunday service. And again, whether you're connecting in real time or replay, I just trust that there's something here for you that will benefit you and uplift your life. I just know it. If you're here, if you found us, then there is. So we've been exploring the quality of gentleness this month. Gentleness as a quality of the divine. And today's talk is entitled Gentle Cosmic-ness. It's a little play on the words. And I don't know about you, but when I think of the cosmos, I really don't think of gentleness. I think of this unimaginably huge space filled with stars, which are really nothing more than an explosion of burning gases. And I think of the origin of the cosmos, which science tells us happened in one big, huge, big bang. Gentleness is not the first thing that comes to mind for me. But over the past 3 weeks, we've been describing gentleness in a fresh new way, not in this traditional way where we think of something soft and quiet and tender, although it is that as well. But we've been describing gentleness as a calm awareness, a mindfulness, a state of mind that lends itself to greeting whatever is. And being in that moment with non-resistance, no pushback to what is, just to be with what is in front of us. And so that's why that song that Jesse just sang was so perfect. And really gentleness is cooperating with the natural order and the harmony of life. Just like that story I told the first week that we started discussing gentleness. Is the story, I'm just going to give the abbreviated version. It was the one with the Buddha. The Buddha was speaking to a large crowd of people in this open field, and on the outskirts of the crowd, Mara showed up. And Mara is, in the Buddhist tradition, Mara is the shadow side. It represents our fear and our anger and our anxiety and all the things that we think of as the negative aspect of life, even though I'm not sure they are. And Buddha's loyal attendant, it was actually his cousin Ananda, saw Mara lurking around the edges of the crowd. And Ananda said, "Oh, no, this is terrible. Mara's here." And the Buddha calmly replied, no worries. Just be calm. And Buddha went over to Mara and said, "I see you, Mara. Come, let's have tea." And this is the ultimate of non-resistance, allowing what is to be, just simply to be, with no pushback. And this is what we're talking about. This is the strength of gentleness. This is the strength of gentleness. I can feel it. And the definition of the word cosmos, coincidentally, is an orderly, harmonious system. And when we define gentleness as non-resistance, then we participate in an orderly and harmonious system. It's sort of the same way that water is strong. Gentleness is a lot like the nature of water, always taking the path of least resistance. And yet water has helped to shape most of the landscape, all of the landscape of our entire planet. It's non-resistance. It makes it strong and powerful. There's actually a verse in the Tao Te Ching, which is the Taoist spiritual text. It's verse 78 that says, "Nothing in the world is as soft and as yielding as water. Yet for dissolving the hard and the inflexible, nothing can surpass it." Gentleness, like water, participates with the harmony of life through non-resistance, which is practiced through mindfulness and awareness. And in this way, gentleness is this powerful force of non-resistance. Got another quote. We can't have a Sunday where we don't quote Holmes. So this is from our founder, Ernest Holmes. And he said, "The language of resistance is pain. But non-resistance finds the harmony of the universe and swings into its motion." I love that. Swings into its motion, going with the stream of power which nourishes and protects. Resistance is the offspring of fear and ignorance. Non-resistance is the offspring of love. Oh, I love that. Non-resistance opens us up to the flow of divine life, you know? And I was thinking about what's a great example of non-resistance. And I recalled those, you might remember them. It's a children's toy. Did you ever play with one of those finger handcuffs when you were a kid? We used to call them Chinese handcuffs, but somehow that just seems inappropriate anymore. So I'm just going to call them finger handcuffs. But you probably played with them at some point or another. You know, they're like a little thimble-like casing, and you put your forefinger, one in each end. They're open on the ends. You slip your forefinger in each end, and when you try to pull it out, the weave tightens, and you can't get your fingers out. And the more you pull, the tighter it gets. But it's gentle non-resistance that gets your fingers out. You kind of lean into the nature of the weave of the toy, and you gently work your fingers free. But you have to notice how it works, and then you have to work with it. And the same is true for the harmony and order of the universe. It's gentle mindfulness we use to stay present to the nature of life. So I've really been thinking a lot about gentleness over the last month, and it's been really kind of a gift. And more I've come to understand just what Albert Einstein told us, that the universe is all energy. He said, energy, everything is energy. And that's all and there, let's see, I'm going to read it. I thought I could remember it, but I'm not remembering it well. Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. And that's what we do when we manifest or demonstrate through our spiritual practices, through spiritual mind treatment, a beautiful example Rob just gave us, or affirmative prayer. We're simply translating one kind of energy into another kind of energy. And we translate or communicate with the universal language of energy through our thoughts, through our feelings, our emotions, and our feelings. And I read this beautiful metaphor. It's really a wonderful metaphor for how we can understand the universal language of energy and how we can communicate with it. It's an example that comes from author and teacher David Spangler. You might recognize that name. Spangler was one of the founders of the Findhorn Foundation in northern Scotland. This is the place where they took this rough and barren piece of land and they transformed it into a lush and productive garden. And they did it by participating with the invisible spirit, God, within everything and with the laws of nature. So anyway, Spangler says, he says that imagine that the universe is a computer and it speaks a particular language, just like a computer. A computer speaks a binary code language of ones and zeros. It uses this language internally, and it uses it to communicate with other computers as well. And there actually are computer programmers who can actually write programs in computer language. Seems beyond me, but I'm not a computer programmer. But most programmers even use a second kind of language, which is a programming language. And a programming language is more like English than computer language, ones and zeros. But it's a code that the human mind can kind of easily wrap its head around. And then there's a third kind of language, the one that most of us are familiar with. It's a user interface. And that's what we see and use nowadays, thanks to Apple and Microsoft. And it's usually a graphic interface using icons. We all have icons on our desktop, and we simply point and click. It's pretty easy. We don't have to use either the computer language or even the programming language. We use a language that is very easy for us to see and to understand. We just point and click, as I said. And Spangler says, there's a reason for all that background, that this describes the world in which we all live. The computer language of the world is essentially energetic, just like good old Al told us. It's a language of making and breaking bonds, or attraction and repulsion, or sticking and letting go, all kinds of variations of play on energy. Spangler calls this energetic language pre-verbal, which reminds me very much of the state of being that we encounter in our very deep meditations. It's certainly not a language of words, and to some extent, it's not even really a language of images. And we, as human beings, can feel this subtle world of energy. Have you ever walked into a room and it feels so tense, you want to jump out of your skin, or it feels so good that you just feel right at home? We can feel the subtle world of energy. We're a part of it. And when we drop our brain waves and go into that meditative state, we can connect with this inner world in a deep way. And how we feel when it's there is like using programmer's language. Still not quite words and images, but we can feel it in our bodies. But most of the time, as human beings, we use our graphic user interface language, which are our thoughts and our emotions. And we use our thoughts and our emotions to effectively communicate with the world of energy that we live in. This is how we communicate from universal energetic language to our human understanding. Our thoughts cause us to feel certain emotions. Our emotions cause us to think certain thoughts. And as we do this consciously, we connect with the different energies of the energetic world we live in, the energies that we want to experience. We communicate with the invisible world of God energy through our graphic user interface of thoughts and emotions and feelings. And we can use our imagination and hone our ability to connect with this universal energy of life, of God, to elevate, to inspire, to comfort, and to bring meaning and joy into our human experience. And I believe that understanding this universal life energy that we all live, move, and have our being in, it supports us and it enhances the most powerful and user-friendly tool that we teach in the Science of Mind philosophy. Rob just gave us a perfect example of that, and that is spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer, which to me is the most powerful translator of the language of God energy to the language of human energy. It's so powerful, and it's a step-by-step process. And each step of the process has a powerful purpose. And I know most of you are familiar with this process, but if you're not, there's lots of wonderful literature on it. Contact me, I'll point you in the right direction. But I'm pretty sure most people on this call at this moment are familiar. So when I first began to learn the process of spiritual mind treatment, having been raised in a very traditional faith tradition, one of the things I loved about this new form of prayer that I was learning was that it was so empowering. It wasn't a prayer of petition to move some invisible being to want to give me something special. It was knowing who I am within this individual presence and then participating with it. But to be completely transparently honest, I was still, to some degree, asking to have some physical need met. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. We're human beings living in a physical world, and we need certain things to live free and joyous lives. But the more and more that I've practiced spiritual mind treatment, the more I realize that the point is to dive more and more deeply into the energy of who we already are. It's really about the entire shift in consciousness, so that we can demonstrate who we are into our human lives. More and more, my spiritual mind treatment has become about embodying the energy of wholeness and becoming in consciousness who I already am, and to know that in a new and a fresh and a deep way so that it demonstrates in my life. And part of that is knowing that all of you, everyone and everything, is living within the same life that I am. Now, my prayer comes more from that energetic language of the universe and less from the graphic user interface level. Oh, but that's always where I start, from my words and my thoughts. I always start there, using my words and the images I see to drop me into a better and better feeling tone until eventually I get to the level of being, of the I am within me. So let me give you an example, because that was a lot of words. I always like to give an example. So let's use abundance as an example. To my human mind, abundance is a quantity of something, a measure of something. But as I drop down into my feeling level, it becomes a comfort, a feeling of peace and plenitude, as Michael Beckwith always says. And as I move even deeper into just being, I become a consciousness of abundance. I move from a consciousness of having access to many things stored in the treasure house of God to being one with the essence behind all things. It's an experience of wholeness, of oneness and unity. It's a shift in conscious into the being who I already am. I am the energy of abundance. I hope this is making sense. Behind all form, there is only one energy, and it expresses in a multitude of ways. And when we're attuned to that energy, our prayer takes on a broader meaning, more than just giving invisible energy tangible form. It becomes a shift in how we think and how we feel and how we be, how we are. We embody the energy of the divine presence, and we become the translators of that energy into another state of being. We dive deeply into the energy of God life and our good, and we become the avenue for its full expression. You know, I heard Holmes put it this way, that we're points of cosmic universal consciousness, which is the origin of all things. And on our individual scale, on our individual lives, we produce the divine in its entirety. So when we are that I am, we demonstrate all good. There's no limit. I remember years and years ago when I first started teaching spiritual mind treatment, when I was in Grants Pass, I would say that the answered prayer is the shift in consciousness. I always knew that was true, but that's even more and more true for me today. A shift in consciousness to embody the energy of who we are in God. We're the allness and the wholeness of God. And a demonstration is the process of revealing God into physical form. So there's one thing let's see. I'm not sure who that is. I think it's here. Sorry about that, guys. There's one more thing I want to draw our attention to regarding gentleness before I end today. And that is that to be gentle is to celebrate our lives. And the main message that we hear from our media, whether it's TV, radio, internet, whatever it is a message of despair, of conflict, of lack. Even our commercials tell us that we need something to make us whole, that we got to get this or we got to get that, that we need something else. And well, you know, I like to be informed. I don't want the situations in the world to tell me who I am or how I'm going to feel. And I find that just looking around at my life and the world with gratitude and appreciation, you know, interacting with my family and my friends and my pets gives me something to celebrate. The world is inviting us to celebrate life. You know, celebration sparks this sense of awe and curiosity and wonder and appreciation for what is. It calls us to see everything as holy and sacred and good and to celebrate it. You know, we can always find reasons not to celebrate, especially if we're waiting for everything to look exactly like we want it to look before we celebrate anything. It's the I'll be happy when syndrome. I don't want to buy into that. If we allow our problems to be the thing that informs our lives, then you know, we begin to forget who we are. And pretty soon we're just existing. But the way to break that cycle is to celebrate. You know, we are divine creations. Life has brought us forward to express our divinity in physical form. I read that the Hopi Indians say that God creates us for one purpose, to sing its song. So we're here to celebrate, to sing and dance, and to express God. We're here to sing our song. So, today, right now, is a wonderful time to take charge of our lives and begin to celebrate. Sure, we might have challenges, but we don't have to live a challenge-driven life. In the New Testament, St. Paul says, count it all joy. Count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptation. We're so much more than our challenges and our dramas. And we're also more than our achievements and our accomplishments or even our failures. Whatever our lives have been up until now, this moment, we can celebrate that. We can celebrate the good times. We can celebrate the bad times, the times that didn't turn out the way we wanted them to. Celebration is life affirming. It's a life affirming activity. It connects us with the energy of life. It energizes us. It animates us. And it empowers us to live the purpose of life, which is to love and be in joy and experience the goodness. When we celebrate, we're affirming that we're one with the presence and power of God. And we don't have to be afraid of life. So I'm going to invite us to take a gentle pause for a moment and ask ourselves, over all our years of working on projects, being goal-oriented, how many times have we or do we stop and just feel the pleasure of life? Now, probably a lot of you are going to say you have, but I'm inviting us to do it even more. And how many times have we just honored ourselves for who we are? And if those times are few and far between, let's just take this moment to look at the things in our lives right now that we can celebrate, that are joyous and wondrous. Let's just look at that right now, because you know what? Celebrating is a prayer. It's the most powerful prayer we can probably do. It's akin to appreciation and gratitude. So I'm just inviting you to celebrate our lives all week. So let's move into that place of prayer, of celebration. I am one with the allness of the divine. I am one with all of these fantastic and wonderful expressions of God that are on this Zoom call with me, and those that will view it later, of all people and things that walk on the beautiful Mother herself. And so I speak my word for them, for and about them, that there is this sense of opening, of celebration for who and what we all are, which is the essence of life. We speak the energy of life. We speak that language, and we connect with that expands and motivates, inspires, and uplifts us. For we are in this moment in the celebration of life. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And together we say, and so it is. So grateful. Oh, whoo. And I'm not really sure. Is it you, Elaine, who is doing the thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a breath.
Okay, so let Michelle take a breath, and I'll talk about giving. So we're gonna give back to One Heart, One Mind at, oh, this is nice. At Venmo at One Heart, One Mind Center, and you can. I like seeing Reverend Michelle's photo when I pay, and you can also mail a check to One Heart, One Mind, and the address is up there. And I think that giving is gentle, and powerful too, and no matter what you give, because you're giving from the heart, and it just feels so good. And we really appreciate it at One Heart, One Mind community. Thank you.
We do.
And we have a little prayer.
We
You want
do.
to?
Yep. It up right now. Oops. Did the wrong thing. Sorry. Here it is.
Sacred giving. Everything flows from the nature of God's good. We receive from this flow and we give from this flow. We give in gratitude and love. We have faith in the infinite giving nature of spirit. And so it is.
And so it is. Thanks, Charlene. We'll come back to you in a second for the benediction. I just want to, we have only just a few announcements. Monday evening is our regular prayer time. This Tuesday, we're looking at another chapter from Mark Nepo's book, Falling Down and Getting Up Again. And I can't remember which chapter it is, but that's okay. It's in the e-newsletter, or you can, I sent out the reading. So if you didn't get it, let me know and I'll make sure you get it. I do want to say that this coming Saturday, and Abigail, maybe you want to speak to this, is as World Labyrinth Day.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Every year, the World Labyrinth Society has a World Labyrinth Day, and the beauty of this is that anybody, anywhere who has any access to a labyrinth can walk it. And the idea is the whole world, no matter what their time zone is, you walk it as one, like one energetic body of people at 1 o'clock. So no matter what time zone you're in, you're walking it at 1 o'clock at your time zone. And what happens is it's like this wave of energy and love and peace is just flowing around the world. And it's just beautiful because when you walk the labyrinth just on your own with your own thoughts and prayers and whatever you want to ask the divine, something changes, like Rob said and Michelle said, something changes because you change, your consciousness changes. And so when we're all doing this together as one world, the world consciousness changes too. So it's just a beautiful idea. And I'm just about full with, so if anybody wants to come, please let me know, because we have just so many spots. And if it gets to overflowing, which is wonderful, we just have to keep putting out a few more chairs. But anyway, I'm just saying, I know Michelle's coming and I know Gisela's coming and bringing a friend. So just let me know if you are going to plan to attend so that I can make sure I have enough of everything for everybody, because it's a ceremony and it's usually handouts. And if you're coming, you need to bring a sacred object to put on the altar. And so there's a whole lot of stuff going on. So anyway, just let me know. Thanks, Michelle, for allowing me here.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
All right. And yeah, I think that's about it for the announcements. I can't think of anything else except for, unexpected giving is still going. We've been doing it for years now, or we'll probably do it for another few years. So if you get unexpected.
Prayer circle.
What's that?
The prayer circle on Wednesday.
You.
Prayer circle.
Thank you. Yes. And that is that this week?
Yes,
So it's the 1st.
May 1st.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for that, Gisela. Yeah, Relaine does the prayer circle every other Wednesday. Well, actually, it's the 2nd and the 3rd Wednesday of the month, right?
The 1st and the 3rd.
I mean, the 1st and the 3rd. Hello. And yeah, and it's wonderful. It's a time to just pray for yourself and others. It's fun. And I think that's it. So I'm going to come back to you, Relaine, for the benediction, and then we'll ask Jesse to pray us out.
That sounds great. I'm really happy that I get to do the closing prayer for gentleness again. It's just been such a wonderful, wonderful way to feel and to be. And so we'll just close our eyes and feel the gentleness of ourselves, of God, of Spirit, our connection with the oneness of all that is. And just feel the power of Spirit within us and all around us. And yet it's just like a gentle flow of ease and peace and joy and happiness and compassion. And it just fills us all up with such goodness and such love and wonderful good feelings of connection with each and every one of us. And so I'm so grateful for this morning, for Reverend Michelle's wonderful talks on gentleness. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. And most importantly, as Reverend Michelle says, I'm so grateful for our shifting consciousness to be more of who we are, which are really, we're magnificent beings. And so I release this prayer with gentleness and love and light. And so it is.
Okay, Jesse.
We can change the world if we want to. We can change it all if we want. Sit with me, we can be 6 feet apart. We'll bow our heads and honor that which is greater than we are. Take the pain inside your heart and give it to the light. Together we're better, so let yourself remember that tonight. Because we can change the world if we want to. We can change it all if we want. We can change the world if we want to. We can change it all if we want. It isn't mine to ever know the answer to it all. But what I do know is we must go where we are called. Everything is screaming out, honey, it's all inside. Begin with me within and see the peace that we ignite. Stillness is the way. Stillness is the way. Stillness is the way. Stillness is the way. Gonna breathe in, gonna breathe out. That's about all that we can do right now. Maybe it's not ours to figure out today. Gonna be here, gonna be now. Peace of mind is gonna find us somehow. And I know that stillness is the way. 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 And we can change the world if we want to. Happy Sunday, everybody.
Woo! Thank you, Jesse. What a pleasure to have you back with us again. I'm just so grateful. And I want to thank my friend Rob. Powerful, powerful way to kick us off. The music was fabulous. The benediction and your prayer was fabulous, Relaine. And just thanks to everybody who just showed up and just was themselves. And I'm just celebrating all of us today. Thank you all so very, very much. I love you all. I'm going to turn the live stream off now. And I'm going to stop us from recording.